Descriptive Statistics Part 1. This video covers 1.3, 2.1, and 2.2. So frequency tables, bar charts, and histograms. So descriptive statistics, a little bit of a reminder, they summarize data. And descriptive statistics can be numbers or they can be graphical representation. Frequency tables include actually both numbers and kind of a visual picture look at the data. They can be used to summarize both kinds of data. So that is a qualitative data, and I am going to abbreviate, and quantitative data. So flexible as far as which kind of data we can use a frequency table for. So we're going to jump into an example. We want to create a frequency table that includes category, frequency, and relative frequency for data collected from a sample of George Fox students. So we're going to go into what we mean by frequency and relative frequency, but let's answer some questions about this data. So the data is listed there, and we can kind of guess what the variable is based on that data. So it looks like what we're looking at is data collected for the variable of year in college. So we'll list that as the variable. The sample size, we're just going to count up the number of data values, and there's 5 columns of 4, so that gives us sample size of 20. And the type of data or variable, and that we're looking for an answer to that kind of question is qualitative or quantitative. And so these are not numbers, so this is qualitative data. So again, I'm going to abbreviate. Okay, we're going to create a table that has 3 columns: category, frequency, and relative frequency. So category are just the different values that the variable can take on. So freshman, sophomore, junior, senior. Frequency is, looking at that definition, the number of times the data value or values in a range of data occurs. And it's going to be some kind of whole number. All right, 0 is an option, and then we just count up the number of times it occurs, and that's the frequency. Relative frequency is a proportion of the number of times a value of the data occurs in the set of all values to the total number of values. So it's the frequency over the sample size, where I'm not sure if we use that yet, but n, that lowercase n we use to stand for sample size, or the number of data values. And it's going to be a fraction, a percent, or a decimal. So something like 1/4, which in decimal form would be 0.25, and then in percent form would be move that decimal place over 2 and then put a percentage symbol, 25%. Let's create the table. First column is category. We're going to put the variable name at the top, year. List out the values that variable can take on. We've got freshman, sophomore, junior, and senior. And next column is frequency. So we're going to go to the list of data values and count up the number of times each of these values occur. So for freshmen, that occurs 1 time. For sophomore, if we go through those values, count up, we get 6. There's 6 juniors, and there are 7 seniors. Okay, relative frequency. I'm going to abbreviate. And to get relative frequency, we take our frequency and divide by our total number of 20. So that's the fraction form, 1/20th. Decimal form, plug that in your calculator, it gives you 0.05. Move the decimal place over 1 and put the percentage symbol on it, and we get 5%. Having trouble getting my percentage. There we go. All right, relative frequency for sophomores, we take 6/20. Plug that in the calculator. For decimal, we get 0.3. Move the decimal place over 2. We get 30%. And we get the same thing for juniors since we have 6 out of 20 for that category as well. And for seniors, 7 over 20. Decimal is 0.35 and percentage 35%. All right, so there's a frequency table. Now let's look at a frequency table for a sample of test scores. So again, we're going to identify what the variable is, and it's kind of given to us. It's test scores. Sample size, we've got to count the number in that list. It's 23. And the type of data or variable this time is quantitative. So I'm going to abbreviate quantitative data. Okay, it's a little bit different than when we had qualitative data that was easy to separate into the different categories, the different values that that variable could take on. To construct a frequency distribution for quantitative data, we have to break the range of data values into class intervals. Okay, so if you look at the data, we've got a low value of 34 and a high value of 99. So we take that range of data values, we're going to break it into intervals, and we want the intervals to be such that every value or every observation only goes into one class interval. So let's choose class boundaries of 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, and then we're going to assume that it's strictly less than the upper boundary. So the class that goes from 30 to 40 is 30 up to but not including 40. And then the next one would include 40, go up to but not include 50, and etc. Okay, so for example, if we have a score of 70, it would be in the class of 70 up to 80. All right, we have an additional column to add when we have when we have quantitative data. We can add the column cumulative relative frequency, and that is just the accumulation of the previous relative frequencies. So to calculate it, you add all the previous relative frequencies to the current relative frequency for the row that you're on. And just like relative frequency, it's going to be a fraction, percent, or a decimal. Okay, let's create our frequency table for test scores. I've got the columns and the classes in there. If we go through our list of test scores and count up frequency for the class of 30 up to but not including 40, we get a 1. 40 to not including 50, that's also a 1. 50 to 60, there's 2. 60 to 70, there's 4. 70 to 80, there's 7. 80 to 90, we get 5. And 90 to 100 is 3. All right, we can always double check, make sure we got all of them. If we add up that frequency column, it should total our 23. So if we add that up, 3 plus 5 is 8, plus 7 is 15, plus 4 is 19, plus 2 is 21, plus 1 is 22, plus another 1 is 23. So we got them all. Okay, now our relative frequency, we're going to take 1 over the total, 23, and fraction equal to 0.04 for decimal, if we round to 2 places. And the same thing for the next class, 1 over 23 is 0.04. And then next class, 2 over 23. And again, rounding to 2 decimals, that actually is going to give us a 0.09. 4 over 23. Again, we're going to consistently round to 2 decimals. That is a 0.17. 7 over 23. We get 0.3. 5 over 23 is 0.22, and 3 over 23, we get 0.13. Okay, now technically those relative frequencies should add up to 1 or 100%. Sometimes because of rounding, it will be a little bit over or it'll be a little bit under. Now we'll see what happens when we do the cumulative frequency. So for the first class, cumulative frequency is the same as relative frequency, so 0.04. Now for the next class, we take that 0.04 and we add the current row relative frequency. So we're going to add 0.04, so we get 0.08. And then the next row, we're going to add 0.08 plus 0.09, so we get 0.17 for our cumulative frequency. And for the next row, we take that 0.17 and add 0.17, get 0.34, and then we add 0.3, we get 0.64. And then we add 2, and we get 0.86. And we add 0.13, and we get 0.99. So now the cumulative frequency should on that last row be 100% or 1. But because we did rounding, we lost enough so that we didn't get all the way up to 1. So this should definitely be approximately 1. 0.99 is definitely close enough. And now that cumulative frequency we can use to answer questions like what percentage of the class got a test score of 80 or below. And so we would go to that row 70 to 80 all the way over, and we would see 0.64, so 64% of the class got 80 or below on the exam. Or I'm sorry, that's actually just strictly less than 80. All right, since 80 is not included in that. Okay, next section, we're looking at bar charts. We're still in descriptive statistics, and this is a graphical descriptive statistic. Bar charts are used to describe qualitative data. And they consist of either vertical, up and down, or horizontal, side to side, bars or rectangles with space in between. The heights and widths are either frequency or relative frequency. And it can be based on a frequency table. Okay, so there's a couple of examples here. Excuses for being late to class. Oh, right, that's obviously qualitative data. And this is an example where the bars are horizontal. And so we have the categories on the vertical, and then the frequency, the relative frequency along the horizontal. And then the other one, we've got vertical bars, and so we've got the categories along the bottom going left to right horizontally, and vertically we have the count. Now there is a slight maybe preference to use relative frequency because that is separate from the total number. So if you use a relative frequency, you get an idea of a percentage, and you don't have to know the total count that it's coming from, whereas frequency, it's helpful to know what that total count is. Let's create a bar chart for the data collected for a year for George Fox students. So along the horizontal, we will put the categories. So freshman, sophomore, junior, senior. And then along the vertical, let's use frequency. Okay, so our largest frequency was 7, so I got to mark 7. And so then we can mark the other values in between. There's 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And for freshmen, our frequency was 1, so we'll create that rectangle that has height of 1. For sophomores, our frequency was 6, so we'll make that rectangle have height of 6. Junior, also 6. And a senior was 7, so rectangle a little bit taller. Okay, so there is a bar chart for the variable year from our sample of George Fox students. Okay, now we're going to look at histograms. This is another graphical descriptive statistic. Okay, a histogram describes quantitative data. And it also consists of vertical bars or rectangles, and it has no space in between. And I didn't really leave myself enough space to write that. So no space in between. And again, the heights are either frequency or relative frequency. Got a couple of examples here. So one, we've got some speed measurements, and you can see that it takes a range of data, 60 to 1100, and breaks that into classes, and then each of those classes has a rectangle above it. And some of the classes have 0. Like it looks like 650 to 700 have 0, and so does 1000 to 1050. Okay, so that's a histogram. And then we got cappuccinos made per hour. We have another histogram. Again, it's taking a range of data, this time 0 to 19, and breaking it into classes, 0 to 3, 4 to 7, 8 to 11, etc. Okay, let's create the histogram based on relative frequency for the exam score data. So if you have that in front of you and follow along, you might want to try this on your own and then watch. Now, this isn't going to be super pretty. I don't have the ability to use a ruler, and it's a little cumbersome, but you'll get the right idea. So first class, 30 to 40, we've got relative frequency of 4%. So we'll do a rectangle up to 4%, and 40 to 50 is also 4%. 50 to 60, we've got 9%, so we want a rectangle with height that goes up to 9%, about like that. And 60 to 70, we have 17%. And 70 to 80, this is our tallest rectangle. We go up to 30%. And 80 to 90, we get 22%. And 90 to 100, we've got 13%. All right, so notice our histogram, all of the rectangles are right next to each other. And the histogram gives us an idea of how those exam scores are spread out between 30 and 100.